let's talk about centralization and the debate. You know, when we IT folks, and particularly in the government, like to think we've kind of started a lot of the buzzwords around here. Well, centralization and the debate between centralized and decentralized, I'm afraid we can't claim we invented it. It is not an IT phenomenon. Okay? We get buffeted by how things are centralized or decentralized. But we really can't claim that we started it. So it's a management theory. And the pendulum swings based on statistics and evidence about every 3 years. Okay? Centralized, decentralized. We are creatures that avoid change but often create it. So what makes this debate so difficult is it is very personal. It is about cultural change. Okay? It's about feeling of control. If I'm centralized, I'm in control. Okay? I can control my risk. If I own my data, if I own my network, I can sleep better because I know I have personally taken care of the risk. Decentralized starts to introduce some fear of perceptions, not fear of facts, but fear of perception. Sometimes you're going, well, if it's further away, it's going to take longer to get it back. Okay? Latency, fear of delay, fear of not knowing who else might be out there touching it. But this debate is not about reality, but about perceptions. So, who here considers themselves in a centralized organization? Okay, a few. Decentralized? Who wishes it were the other way? Okay. There are a few. How many of you have gone back and forth in your career? Okay. I've done 3. Okay. This will continue to be a challenge. So there are good things and bad things about centralized and decentralized. Centralized, again, it's good and bad. Slow to react, negative. Okay. Slower to address the needs of people that don't sit in the same office. But got good tight controls and consistency. Likewise on decentralized, good and bad. Get the data out there close to the source for decision making. Okay? Good. But gross inefficiencies because we're pushing data out, maybe even creating some quality issues in our data. Lack of understanding of consistent decision making, things like that. So the goal that we have really is to get the best of both worlds. Okay? The best of the decentralized so that we have rapid support, detailed, close to the user, close to need, but we also have the control, the consistency, and the efficiency. Now, while I said the government really can't claim, ownership of creating this debate about centralized or decentralized, we did create kind of one of our own buzzwords of the best of both worlds, and that's called federated. So centralize the things that need to be controlled at a centralized level, where you can sleep better at night, and then let the rest of it go. And there are ways and tools and techniques to still keep the control with a distance spread between in the decentralized model. Remote office has a new concept, and it's personal. Okay? My remote office is me. It's whatever device I may have. Okay? So we have to think very, very broadly. Yes, we will have remote offices and buildings that are connected, but we have to be prepared in 2010, and as we get there, to think about remote office as walking around. Okay? So I'm a mobile workforce, and that's going to continue to push us. We can no longer be that one-to-one-to-one. Now remote's very different. As technology leaders, what is our top priority? Well, one, we have to realize that it is about service delivery. So whatever we do needs to be moving the government forward in serving its mission. But remember, it is the infrastructure that has all of that sitting on it. Sometimes I'll use the analogy of a table. Okay? So we're making decisions. The infrastructure is the table. The applications are the plates that sit around the table. The food is the data that sits on it. Okay? But it's the device and the final connection that let you use the data to make decisions. Okay? So you don't get the infrastructure right, the rest of it's going to fall apart. what makes the data center it's huge, but what makes it so difficult? Right? Hardware's hardware, software's software. This isn't that difficult because you can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can move it around. So what makes it difficult? Well, there's a lot of things that we as IDC and Government Insights are seeing as the drivers on why this is so critical and so complex. One is it is that geographically distributed and really workforce that is going to be even more distributed, but it is difficult to make sure that each and every one of us have exactly what we need to do our job the further we get away. Decentralization of services and management. If you think about it, going back to that geographically dispersed workforce, the statistics of who's at headquarters versus a field location. Okay. Think about a number. I'll tell you, but just in your mind, how many? What's the percentage of headquarters workforce do you think? Okay. 11%. Okay. The rest of us aren't there. The rest of us are in a remote location. Now, headquarters for the government's maybe the government number's a little bit higher, but still, 11% are the only ones who are sitting at a headquarter location. The rest of us want good service, and we are wanting it decentralized. If we look at automating more of the management capability to remote and distributed offices, what we want to really look at is how do we take that and improve cost of ownership. Automated management, okay, decrease the operational costs, increase the utilization of your equipment and your people. Improve security, okay. So if you're putting more of the security into the chipset or into the capability of the tool, it's more easily accessed. You're really looking at higher reliability and agility and resilience, and improved usage. And that usage being simplification of the management, transparency of your infrastructure becomes built in, and most importantly, you get the right allocation of resources to do what you need to do when you need to do it.